Welcome to Analyze That. In this first episode, we will talk about Disney's Descendants. Disney's Descendants follow the children of Disney's infamous villains as they are given a chance at redemption by attending Ordine Prep. Through obstacles and great change, we see the connection between the Isle of the Lost and the Kingdom of Ordine finally connected. Part of the reason why Descendants is successful is the use of realism, which means the representation of how things really are. Descendants is in a long line of Disney films using truthful images to convey their story. Another reason why Descendants is successful is what I like to call the fantasy frame. Entertainment likes to use the symbolism of fairy tales, history, etc. to make the young adult experience extraordinary. In the franchise, the use of fantasy exaggerates the theme of identity, prejudice, and making one's own choices. Another example will be the Zombies franchise, where deep symbolism of zombies and wolves are used to teach similar lessons. Descendants cashes in on the nostalgia in the recent years. We have seen Disney characters reimagined as hipsters, moms, and B-stars. Another example would be YouTuber Todrick Hall's work, which often features Disney characters that are relevant to his life and his music. Disney characters have made an impact on us as children, so we will find a way to incorporate our childhood and other areas in our later years. Disney is looking for contemporary audiences, creating work for the younger generation. This encourages healthier formations of memory and identity, according to Ryan Lazardi. It also gives the current generation ownership through identity touchpoints from older material. Number one lesson in this film is that your DNA doesn't define you. You can make your own choices. You can always prove people wrong. Your family members may be trash, but you can do better.
This is the land of opportunity. We can be whatever we want to be here.
People can become good or bad, as in the case of Audrey. As the writer from CNN points out, if the early movies preached that evil isn't destiny, the welcome point is being good isn't either.
He's gonna chase me down and rip out my throat. This is a vicious, rabid pack animal.
Hey, who told you that?
My mother.
The Disney villains influence their kids with toxic parenting like vanity, stealing, fear of dogs, and being bad in general. When the kids go to Ordine Prep, there are plenty of people who want to see them do their best.
Lower the point?
Children need structure. They need structure in which they can channel certain energies into. And we see this in the first film with Jay when he replaces actual stealing with stealing in sports, and we see him excel with that.
This island is a prison thanks to your father.
And don't pretend to look out for me, because no one's looking out for me.
The film hits with a big note on inequality. We see that the kids live on the Isle of the Lost, which resembles low-income neighborhoods. We see that the newer students in Descendants 3 never had simple things like fruit or cake before, or any other amenities outside of the Isle.
Every time we open the barrier, we're exposed to danger. Maleficent, Uma, Hades.
What do we do?
How do we keep evil out of Oridon?
This movie may seem political because it is sending a message to what's going on right now in the world, especially in America. Who gets to be an American? Who gets to be an Oridon? The message of Descendants must have hit home for late actor Cameron Boyce due to his grandmother, Joanne Allen Boyce. Joanne, as a young woman, was part of the Clinton 12, a group of African American students who integrated Clinton High School in its namesake town in Tennessee in 1956.
Mom said if a boy can't see the beauty within, then he's not worth it. Can you believe it?
Evie learns that beauty is not an investment. For so long, she has been taught that vanity is the key, and she later gets a reality check when dealing with Chad. She instead invests in other areas like fashion and academics, later on creating beautiful fashion dresses and building a castle in the future with Doug.
Audrey, you were supposed to be his queen, and you let him slip through your fingers. Your mother could hold on to a prince in her sleep.
The only reason Audrey turned rogue in Descendants 3 is because of the pressure to be perfect. She has been groomed to be pretty and presumably betrothed to Ben.
Most people get dumped because they aren't good enough. I wasn't bad enough.
Mal also experienced this in Descendants 2 with the pressures of being presentable and being King Ben's girlfriend and not resembling an owl kid. She almost crumbles to this but goes back to being her true self.
Well, if Ben doesn't love the real you, then he's not the one.
Maybe a farmer's market. You know, once we have our own garden, we can grow our own fruits and veggies. We don't really get a whole lot of fresh produce on the aisle, so a farmer's market would probably be a really big hit.
Always use your success for outreach, and we definitely see that by the final film. The VKs turn out so great that they and Ben continue for the integration of more owl kids.
Those are our roots. And we all did what we had to do to survive. But it made us who we are. And we're never gonna be like anybody else here. And that's okay.
I feel like songs like Rotten to the Core or It's Good to Be Bad reminds me of other anthems like Straight Outta Compton or Little Kim's Put Your Lighters Up. Just because you are a success doesn't mean you shouldn't forget where you came from. The person that you may hate in the beginning may turn out to be the person that you will need help.
We're stronger together. Stronger together. I'm right here, Mal. Regain your might and ignite. I'm right here, girl. I'm right here. Regain your might and ignite.
I personally don't see Uma as a villain. I feel like she's sticking up for the other kids that are left on the owl. A good lesson from Dr. Facilier.
You make sure you get your cut.
I think we can all agree that Evie is the all-around best character in this series. She has a generous soul, a heart of gold, a great best friend. A difference between a true leader and power-hungry people is that a leader cares about the people.
Speaking of kids, we have some kids waiting on us, so if you'll excuse me. I have owed you an apology for a very long time now.
And so have I.
I've learned that you can't live in fear because it doesn't actually protect you from anything. You never know where the bad is gonna come from. And you never know where the heroes are gonna come from.
I'm sure you two will be very happy together.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.